All right, y'all, I'm back up in here. Listen, this is actually an interesting one. All right, so if you don't know who he is, White Boy Rick is suing the FBI and the Detroit Police Department for forcing him to be a snitch. So basically, if you don't know who White Boy Rick is, White Boy Rick is a guy who was recruited at like 13 or 14 years old, and basically he was an informant for the FBI. He like I don't know if you know I don't know if y'all seen the movie White Boy Rick. It gives him a better explanation, but you know what? Let me just kind of look it up just real quick for y'all. Just to have White Boy Rick, just to give you a little bit of a. I should have had this prepared. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Um, yeah. So basically, he was an FBI informant when he was 14 to 16 years old. When he was 15, Warsher told the FBI that a major drug dealer had spoken of paying a bribe to Detroit detective inspector and subsequent city council president and mayoral candidate Gil Hill in order to squash the investigation into a 13-year-old boy's murder. At the age of 17, Warsher was arrested for possession of a 8 kilograms of cocaine, and with no intervention from the FBI and U.S. attorney to tell of him being an FBI informant. At 14, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. So that's basically what it is. He was an informant for the FBI, and he was basically used to find out about, what was going on in Detroit at that time. Um, so cut to now, the article basically says that he has filed a $100 million lawsuit against former FBI agents and prosecutors alleging child abuse in connection with his time as an informant. Warsher now is 52 years old, spent 3 decades behind bars after a drug conviction. Recruited at 14, he is thought to be the youngest FBI informant in history. He said, I want this chapter in my life closed, Warsher said, surrounded by family at a press conference on Tuesday on the 1 year anniversary of his release. Known as White Boy Rick, Warsher's brief stint as an informant and his ultimate conviction inspired a 2018 movie of the same name with Matthew McConaughey cast as his fictional father. Warsher has said the moniker was not a nickname but made up by the media around the time of his arrest. Former Detroit police officers, retired FBI agents, former federal prosecutors, and the city of Detroit are all named in the suit. So basically, bro. Oh, and I think there's more. Let's see what he says.
It's been difficult. I lost 33 years of my life. My father's not here. A lot of my family members aren't here. I didn't get to see my kids grow up. And I guess the best statement after being in a cage for almost 33 years is I saw the world evolve, but I didn't get to play any part in it. I saw my kids grow up, but I didn't get to play any part of it. It's almost like being dead, but you see the world evolve around you. You see the world change, and you see the technology, and you see or you read about it, but you play absolutely no part of it.
Mm,
You know,
damn, that's deep.
this is
Just cut in real quick here. Usually, y'all know how this goes. People who have either worked with the FBI, know something, worked with the government or the feds or anything like that, they're either in jail or they're dead. They Nobody's alive to tell the story of crookedness that happens in this with our government or anything like that. Unless you're, what I'm saying, Edward Snowden, who finessed the whole entire government and was able to get out of the country, who I'm sure they still have their eyes on his every single move, regardless of him, what I'm saying, being able to like release information about the government to the public and being able to like run out the run out the country on top of that. I think this is one of those things where they didn't want to they didn't want to they used a child, and then when he got in trouble, they wanted to make it seem like he was on his own about it, like he got into it on his own without them, you know.
just not a sentence of Rick Worsham. In all sincerity, it was a sentence for his mom. That was her only son. That was a sentence for his mom. She lost
It's been
her child.
this was my mom when I left.
Yeah.
That was my mom.
And thank you for pointing that out.
Beautiful, young. Look at my mom.
This is very approximately.
Still beautiful, but this is what they took from me. My dad never knew I made it out of jail, Orlando. People blame my dad for a lot of things, and I promise you, 90% of the things they blame my dad for are lies. That's their lies to cover up the truth. My dad never knew the depth what I was doing for the government. He never knew that I had a fake ID that said I was 21 years old. He never knew that I was out all night because he was waking up in the morning trying to provide for our family, and I lived upstairs in the two-family flat. He wasn't the best father, but he wasn't what he was made out to be.
Bro, this is also a case of like you know, this is what this is that type of thing that your grandma will say to you, like, don't rush to get old or you growing up too fast. In this situation, this is that information is deemed correct. He grew up too fast. Like he was given and exposed to so much bad things at an early age, and ultimately he had to pay the ultimate price for all of that, which was going to prison and getting a life sentence at that, and then being able to be released after all of that. It's so sad.
Al,
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, the FBI gave her child
this was my
that ID.
I got a question. You obviously had a hard. You were promised a lot of things, and you went into jail. Your whole adult life, you've been in jail. How do you trust people coming out now? Do you have much trust with people?
I wouldn't trust nobody.
Or is it hard to trust people?
well. If my other half, if you ask her, no, I don't trust people. And
Exactly.
I've known you for a long time. I've talked to you for years in prison, and I'll say this in here in front of everybody. I felt like you betrayed me,
Mm.
and I quit talking to you.
Wow.
And let me finish. And now that I'm here in front of you, and I had time to think about it, you didn't betray me. You were telling a story.
Bro, his life was basically taken from him for like 3 decades. Who in the world is he supposed to trust after getting out of jail and getting off of a life sentence? Like basically beating a life sentence and being able to get out of jail. Who is he supposed to trust? I wouldn't trust nobody at all. I would find it difficult to trust my own wife if I was him. Shoot.
So a lot of the things, it was accurate. I've never said you didn't say anything accurate. I, I, I responded to a story that you wrote
That ID.
the wrong way. I had been locked up a long time, Alan. I know you always tried to tell the truth, and I know that you know more of the truth that you didn't tell because you're friends with a lot of the FBI agents that we're talking about, or
Uh-oh.
you knew them. I won't say friends, but there was far more of the story that could have been told that wasn't told. Maybe because it couldn't be proven, maybe because they didn't want you to, or whatever. But I'm just being honest with you in front of everybody, and that's all you'll get from me is honesty.
Nick, can you talk about why this is so important for you to file this lawsuit and get this accountability so that you can continue on living a healthy life, the life that you want to live from here on out?
I want this chapter of my
Folks, I'm just gonna sit here and say that like it's not an easy. I'm sure it's not gonna be an easy thing to just go ahead and sue the FBI, bro. It's not that easy to just sue the FBI. Like, just imagine the amount of litigation they're gonna put him through. They're gonna put him through so much litigation, so many hours of going to court. You should already know they're gonna make it difficult for him. They're gonna make it difficult for him because when you say you're gonna sue the FBI, that's not no easy task to just sue the FBI. Like, come on now. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. Oh, I'm gonna sue the FBI and I'm gonna sue the Detroit police force. And then it's the new Detroit police force. This isn't the same police force that was around that got you put in jail. This is a different police force. Um, but I mean, I'm just hoping that he can like actually win because it's like the little guy need the little guy exposed some things, and you know for that they punished him and took his life away. His father is not alive anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very unfortunate. His story is very sad when you look at it. Very sad.
My life closed. I want to forget about it. I want it to be gone. I'm not going to lie to you. You know me, you know Nabi. This was hard for me to do. I wasn't the wrong way. I'm going to do it. I didn't I didn't come out and say I want to sue these people. I come out and try and help people. I come out and every week I try and do something good in the community. So, I'm not bitter. Well, I'm bitter a little. I'm not going to say I'm not bitter at all. I'm bitter a little about missing out on my kids' lives, about not being able to see my father when he was dying, about not being able to be a part of my mother's lives. I have grandkids that I've never met to this day because they live in another state.
That's crazy.
So I guess I just want to put this behind me, and I think this is the final chapter in it. And whatever it is, I get to close the book. I'm going to do it.
Hey, that's real, bro. Like, it feels like it's just like a thing. I'm sure it doesn't have. I'm sure it has less to do with money and more to do with just getting his just due. Like I said, people who have like been involved with like the feds in some sort of way, or have accused the feds, like, are either dead or in jail. It's like only a few people who I could say that are still alive. Like, one of them is Freeway Rick Ross. The other one is White Boy Rick. Um, like I said, Edward Snowden actually finessed the government. And yeah, just hopefully he can get his just due with that. But I'm sure they're gonna make it difficult for him. But hey, man, that's the end of the video. What did you think? What should I review next or react to? Just keep on sending them, man. Like, I'm gonna get to them and eventually. I'm just spitting out videos at this moment in time. So pay your bills, pay your bills, and I am like a eviction notice. I'm out.